Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Um, uh, yes, someone is asking, no one is facing difficulty, right? Uh, so let me just. Uh, right, okay. Sorry for being a couple of minutes late. So today we will try and discuss two chapters, chapter 2 and chapter 3, because there are so many names um, in these chapters. Please bear with me. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. So we began ninth canto last week, and Maharaj Parikshit wanted to hear the dynasties of the current Manu, named Vaivasvata Manu, but his name is Shraddha Deva. So Maharaj Parikshit wanted to hear the dynasty of Shraddha Deva. That is the current Manu. And so in response to Maharaj's Parikshit question, Shukadev Goswami narrated the story that initially Manu didn't have a son. So Vashishta, with the help of Vashishta, they performed a sacrifice and begot a child. But it turned out that the child was female, Ila, because uh, the king's wife, Manu's wife, Shraddha, she desired a daughter. Manu was desiring a son, but Manu's wife was desiring for a daughter. So, and then the priest did something to actually beget a daughter. So at least he was happy that he begot a child, but however, he was unhappy that there was no successor to the throne. And when he approached Vasishta, when the king approached Vasishta, so Vasishta worshipped Lord Vishnu and turned the female child into male child. Ila became Sudyumna. Sudyumna. Hmm? Sudyumna. And this Sudyumna, of course, he got married. Once went to a forest with his associates. And when he entered into that forest, suddenly Sudyumna and all his associates realized that um, they, um, they became female. The sex, gender had been transformed automatically. The reason was that this is the place where Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva they have intimate pastimes. Once the sages wanted to visit, take darshan of Lord Shiva. But that time Mother Parvati and Shiva were intimately engaged. So Mother Parvati requested Shiva to do something. Lord Shiva said that any male members enters this area will turn into female. Sudyumna didn't know this curse. So Sudyumna, along with associates, turned into female. Uh, so while he was in the forest, Sudyumna was like now in the female body, looked very beautiful, and mm, um, so Buddha um, got very much attracted, hmm? and Buddha is son of moon god. Buddha very much got attracted to this Sudyumna in the female body, and they begot a child called Pururava. We will discuss about Pururava in the later chapters. But anyway, so now because he was in the female body, uh, and so he requested Vashishta to do something, and Vashishta worshipped Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said that, yes, no problem. I'll turn back into male, but he will remain male for 1 month and become female for another month. Like this, he will how to change his gender alternate months. Yeah, so like this, the Sudyumna had uh, his life, and while and he ruled the kingdom, and when he was in the male body, like that, and so at the end, Sudyumna got retired and went to the forest. So there is no one to take charge of the kingdom. So that's so that's what been discussed in the chapter 1. And in the chapter 2, let's see what is the title of chapter. So chapter 2 is entitled The Dynasties of the Sons of Manu. Hmm? Um, so there are so many names. If anybody is looking for a name to keep their children, or to keep looking for their grandchildren, they should open this chapter and the next few chapters, like that. There are so many names. Let me just bring up something. So Vaivasvatamanu, so he had Ila Sudyumna, and then after Sudyumna went to forest. Um, so Vaivasvatamanu Shraddhadeva, he performed severe austerities. It is mentioned that he performed austerities, severe austerities on the bank of Yamuna for 100 years, and he worshipped the Supreme Lord and obtained 10 sons. So these are the names of the uh, 10 sons. Hmm? So Ikshwaku, Nuruga, Sharyati. Many people heard the name Ikshwaku because his name comes in the Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter. Hmm? Um, and Nruga's name also people heard. Huh? Nruga became a lizard. You remember Krishna picked him up. So they are very familiar, these two names, for many people. Sharyati, Dishta, Drashta, Kurushaka, Narishyanta, pra, uh, Prashadra, Nabhaga, and Kavi. So, so we will discuss about in this chapter. Initially, they talk about Prushadra, Prushadra, and Kavi. Kavi is the youngest. So this Prushadra He was given a task to look after the cows, made in charge of looking after cows. And when it was dark on one night, tiger, one tiger entered the Goshala, where all the cows were staying, and in the cow shed. Mm. And all the cows got, scattered here and there out of fear for this tiger. And Prushtadra, being a Kshatriya, and he decided to kill the tiger who entered the cow shed. But it was night, pitch dark. He could not see. Based on the sound, he just took his sword and just killed the animal. In the morning, he realized that he had actually mistakenly killed the cow, but not the tiger. So when he, you know, uh, tiger also got injured at that time because they were very close. Tiger's ear got pierced, and the tiger ran away from that place. So, because everything was so quiet in the night, the tiger went, and because he did not notice, and everything was so quiet, he thought he had killed the tiger. But in the morning, he realized that he had actually mistakenly killed the cow. So when spiritual master Vashishta came to know this, Vashishta cursed him, saying that in the next life you will become a Shudra. You won't become a Kshatriya, you won't become a Brahman, but you will become a Shudra. So what do you do? But Prushudra, he was clever. He was very clever. And he was a brahmachari that time. He did not get married. And he decided to leave everything and decided to go to forest. So, and he performed ekanta bhakti to Lord Vasudeva. Even though he was cursed by spiritual master to become a Shudra in the next life, but he did not bother about that. Um, so he was detached, he was peaceful, self-controlled, independent of anyone's charity. He was living on his own, subsisting on whatever comes of in its own accord, and satisfied. Thus he um, traveled over the earth, as if dumb, blind, and deaf. You remember the story of Jada Bharat? He was very, very intelligent, Jada Bharat, but he used to just walk around as if he were dumb and useless fellow. Fool number one, but he was supremely intelligent. Similarly, here, um, Prashadra, he was like that. So he continued to perform devotion, always absorbed in pure bhakti. So one day when he entered the forest, he saw the forest fire. and he decided to burn his body in the forest fire and entered the forest fire. And you know what happened? Um, it is mentioned that where did he go? He went to the spiritual world. Hmm. What was the curse uttered by Vashishta? That he will have a next life and he will be born as Shudra. But here it is said that uh, he attained Krishna in the spiritual world. How is that possible?
Because he did bhakti all the time.
Mm,
So maybe that helped him to reach to Krishna because he was thinking of Krishna at the end of the life when he was entering the forest.
mm,
Is that maybe that's what I think? But it's very, very astonishing. Mhm.
thank you. Anyone else would like to sh- share any comments?
Mm,
Prema Bhakti?
the the bat destroyed his karma
That's it.
was
That's it. Yes,
yeah.
Nishamata is also right.
Mm.
But Bhakti destroyed the karma. That's the very important point here. Uh, um, so let's see if we can recite a verse. That this is a very important one. Um, hmm, okay, where am I here? Hmm. So um, it's right. Actually, here in the purport, our acharyas explained that um, Vashishta should not have cursed his disciple. It was um, you know, he committed a mistake unknowingly, not knowingly. uh, he should have he should have awarded some kind of atonement. uh, but rather than that, it is said, to become a Shudra in the next life. Hmm? And Prabhupada writes in the purport that strong devotion will destroy karma. And there is a famous verse in the Brahma Samhita. Yastvindra Gopya Matavendra Mahosvakarma Bandhanurupa Palabhajanamatanoti Karmani Nirdahati Kintu Cha Bhakti Bhajam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So karma will bind everyone, uh, beginning from small microbe to Indra, king of heaven Indra, are subjected to the loss of karma. uh, but karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Nirdahati will be burnt, karmani, all your karmas. When bhakti bhajam, when one engages in the pure devotional service, karma, all the karmas will be destroyed. Hmm? So this is an important lesson, and also sometimes some unavoidable situation comes, we should not get carried away. If we were in Prashudra's uh, Prashudra's place, we would have lamented like anything sitting there. Oh, I committed this mistake unknowingly, and my spiritual master cursed me to become a Shudra. What to do? What to do? What to do? But here, the lesson is something unavoidable happens. Some reversal happens in our life, turn towards Krishna, not turn away from Krishna. Run towards Krishna, do not run away from Krishna. So this is an important lesson. I thought I would focus a little bit there. And so then there is a mention about the youngest son. Youngest son name is Kavi. So the youngest son, Kavi, he so he was reluctant to accept material enjoyment. He was son of Manu. Imagine how much wealth they must have had. Huh? But he was reluctant to accept. He was the youngest, but yet he was reluctant. Hmm? And before attaining youth, this is when I was reading, I was a little bit, shaken. Before attaining youth, he gave up the kingdom and went to the forest, always thinking of the Supreme Lord. He attained perfection. So Kavi, there was no curse on him, but the youngest son simply did not want to do all these things in the material world, simply performed bhakti in the forest, attained Krishna. Mm. Um, so, and there are then dynasties of various other kings were mentioned with so many names. If I start reading their names, we will probably never finish. So we talked about this one, Prushadra, and then we also talked about Kavi. And then there are in this chapter the dynasties of Karusha, then Drishta, and Nruga, and Narishyanta, and also Dishta were given. The names of the dynasties of these sons of Manu are given, a big list of names that is there. If you want, you can refer to this chapter. It's mainly names. But one point that just I wanted to mention was this Drishta. Drishta's sons, they achieved the position of Brahmanas. So Drishta, as you can see here, that is from a Kshatriya administrative class. But his sons had achieved the position of Brahmanas. So Prabhupada writes that the caste or varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they are not by birth, they are by quality. So a son of Kshatriya can become Brahmana like this, or in any other cases also. So that's one point that I wanted to highlight here. And then we'll move on to the second chapter. Second chapter talks about the third son named Sharyati and his dynasty. Okay, so just to summarize before we go, Manu didn't have any sons in the beginning. Manu's name is what was Manu's name? Shraddha Deva, and his wife is Shraddha. Shraddha Deva and Shraddha. Okay, and who was he in the past life? He was King Satyavrata Muni. Now he became the seventh Manu. He took birth as a son of sun god. So he didn't have any sons. Then they performed yajna, and then they begot child named Ila, daughter. But later, that Ila was transformed into Sudyumna, male, and Sudyumna became king. But Sudyumna, after he had gone to the forest, he then transformed into a female. And then, with by the mercy of Shiva, he remained as female for 1 month and then male for another month. Like that, it was going on. And then that Sudyumna retired. When after Sudyumna retired, Manu then again performed austerities on the bank of Yamuna for 100 years and begot 10 sons. And their names were shown here on the screen. And we talked about Pushadra, how he mistakenly killed the cow and got cursed by Vashishta. But later he just performed pure devotional service, engaged in ekanta bhakti to Krishna, and then he attained Krishna in spite of the curse given by the spiritual master Vashishta. Then we talked about the youngest son, Kavi, and Kavi was not interested in material things. So he just left to the forest, went to the forest, and gave up the kingdom, always thinking of the Supreme Lord, attained perfection, Kavi. And then there are other dynasties of other sons mentioned in this chapter were Dishta, Drushta, Karushka, Narishanta. So the dynasties of these sons were described in the second chapter, various names. Now we are moving to the third chapter. In this chapter, we'll talk about third son named Sharyati and his dynasty. Okay. So Sharyati, Maharaj Sharyati. So this chapter is actually entitled. So chapter 3 is entitled "The Marriage of Sukanya with the Chyavanamuni." So this is the chapter entitled. Right. So this Sharyati, son of Manu, had a beautiful daughter named Sukanya. His daughter was Sukanya. So once Maharaj Sharyati, the third son of Manu, so went to the forest, went to the hermitage of Chavanamuni. So Chavanamuni, and so that time this Sukanya, he took his daughter with him. So his daughter name was Sukanya mentioned. So Sukanya, while plucking various fruits in the hermitage, in the ashram, she saw some two glowing objects in an anthill. They were very attractive, very glowing, these two objects. She was actually plucking the fruits. And somehow or other, she was impelled by the destiny to pierce these two glowing objects. She was impelled to do so. And when she did this, Shariati and his party, his associate, uh, they had some problem, unable to pass urine and stool. They had some physical problem. And immediately Shariati asked, we entered the hermitage ashram of Shavanamuni. Did anybody commit any offense here in this ashram? And Sukanya immediately opened up and told what she had done. Daddy, I pierced these glowing objects. So then, Shariati became a little upset. Actually, in that handle, it was Shavanamuni who was performing his meditation, and these two glowing objects were actually the eyes of Shavanamuni. Shavanamuni was very old, invalid, and so he's always irritable. Maharaj, uh, Shariati became a little upset and approached um, Shavanamuni, and then apologized, and then actually he offered his daughter to this Shavanamuni. Um, so yes, it's unfair. She was very young and beautiful, and this Chavanamuni was old, invalid, irritable. But however, King got very much afraid. He thought that Chavanamuni would curse, and he might utter a terrible curse. So to avoid the curse, Shariati just offered his daughter, young daughter, to the old Shavanamuni. And he left that place. But Sukanya served him very faithfully. So she was extremely faithful. So let me see. So she performed service to him without being bewildered. So, and then one day, Ashwini Kumara brothers, they are twins. Ashwini Kumaras are twins. They appeared as Nakula and Sahadeva. So Ashwini Kumaras, the brothers, they are heavenly physicians. They can do any magic. So they happen to come to the ashram of Shavanamuni. So, Shavanamuni requested that you are heavenly physicians. Please give me youthful life. So that he wanted to become young. He said that if you restore my youth, in exchange, I will give you a full pot of somarasa. He's bribing. So it is said that all the devatas, they partake in drinking this special somarasa, which comes after performing the yajna. But somehow or other, these two brothers, Ashwini Kumaras, they are normally forbidden to drink this Somarasa. So Shavanamuni said that if you restore my youth, then I will give you full pot of Somarasa. So then Ashwini Kumaras took him to a special lake, and they all jumped into this special lake. All three, two Ashwini Kumaras and then our Shavanamuni. So when they came out, all three emerges youthful and beautiful. So much so that this girl, Sukanya, could not distinguish her husband, Shavanamuni. They all looked same. So it was a test for her. And she begged that, oh, Ashwini Kumaras, please give me my husband back. And then they revealed her husband, Shavanamuni. So then Ashwini Kumaras went back to the heavenly kingdom. So after some time, Sukanya's father, Sharyati, visited the ashram just to see how his daughter was coping with the Shavanamuni, who was old and invalid. When he came, he saw that she was serving the young, youthful man. And he just became so enraged and said that, how unchaste you are, you gave up your husband, like that. And Sukanya narrated the entire story, what had happened. Then Chavanamuni, in that young body, asked the king to do a Soma Yajna. So let me come back. So they, with the help of Sharyati, Chavanamuni performed this yajna, Soma Yajna. And when they did Soma Yajna, a full pot of Soma Rasa came, and he was offering to the Ashwini Kumaras, twin brothers. As I mentioned, because they were heavenly physicians, somehow or other, they were unfit to drink the Somarasa. But here, Shavanamuni is offering full pot of Somarasa. And that time, King Indra became angry, and he took his thunderbolt, you know, but immediately Chavanamuni paralyzed the hand of Indra, so he could not do anything. Then Ashwini Kumaras took that part, and since then, all the demigods have agreed to allow them to drink the Somarasa henceforward, going forward. So this is how that Sukanya's and Chavanamuni story ends. And then there is another story. We are talking about third what's his name? Let me go back. I'll show you the title. Krishna. So we are talking about this third son, Manu's son, Sharyati. So Sharyati, son Sukanya, And that's the story that we narrated, how she got married to Shavanamuni and how he regained his youth, and how he performed Soma Yajna and then offered the Soma, full pot of Soma Rasa to Ashwini Kumaras. And as a result of that, they were all the demigods allowed to, drink Somarasa going forward. So Sharyati had, apart from Sukanya, in addition to Sukanya, he had three sons. Sukanya was daughter. Hmm? So Uttana Bharihi, Anartha, and Burisena. So here it is mentioned Anartha, the second son of Sharyati, he had a son named Revata. So this Revata, he there is something mentioned about Revata. I just want to mention. Okay, Sharyati had three sons. The second son name was Anartha. Anartha had a son named Revata. So this Revata, yes, so Anartha's son Revata builds underwater kingdom. He builds an underwater kingdom called Kushastali. And it is said that this underwater kingdom was, used to erect Dwaraka fort. So that is where Krishna rebuilt Dwaraka, this Kushastali. But let me make simple things simple. So, okay, Anartha had son Revata. Revata had a son named Kakudmi. So this Kakudmi had a daughter named Revati, right? Just 1 second. So he had a daughter named Revati, Kakudmi. So he wanted to find best suitable match, suitable husband for his daughter Revati. Remember that Revati's father was Kakudmi. And so, he wanted to, like, sometimes we ask, who is the best match? But he decided to go to Brahmaloka to ask Lord Brahma to seek a suitable husband for his daughter Revati. So he took his daughter Revati along with him to Brahmaloka. When he entered Brahmaloka, there was a performance by Gandharvas. So Brahma, asked him to wait for some time. His Kukudmai and his daughter. So when Kukudmi asked about a suitable husband for Revati, Brahma said that, so many earthly years have passed on earth. Your dynasty, so many generations, 27 Divya Yugas have gone out, right? So the current, this is the beginning, first Divya Yuga. This occurred. Now we are in the 28th Divya Yuga. So many Divya Yugas have passed on earth. So many generations have gone. So, but however, I find one suitable person for your daughter, Lord Balaram Baladev. Lord Sankarshan, appeared now as Lord Baladeva. So please hand over your daughter Revati to Lord Baladeva. And Kukudmi returns along with his daughter Revati to the earthly planet and approached Balramji uh, to marry his daughter Revati. But Revati was like, she was from the beginning she was Satya Yuga, 27 yugas ago, 27 Divya yugas ago, long time ago. She was very tall. And so Baladeva, he had his, um, plow weapon. So with plow weapon, he reduced her size to suitable, size, and got married. Hmm? And so after this, Kukudmi just simply went to Badrikashrama for spiritual practice. So this is how this chapter ends. And in this chapter, so third son of Manu, Sharyati, went to the ashram of Shyavanamuni with his daughter Sukanya and with his associates. So Sukanya, while plucking various flowers and fruits, she observed two glowing things in an ant hill, and impelled by the destiny, she pierced the glowing things. Actually, they were the eyes of Chavanamuni, who was practicing austerities in the ant hill. So eventually, our Sharyati handed over his daughter Sukanya to this old and invalid, irritable sage named Chavanamuni. But she was serving him very faithfully, and when Ashwini Kumaras visited his ashram, he requested them to restore his youth. And in exchange to that, he said he would offer a full pot of Somarasa. And they agreed, and all three, two Ashwini Kumaras and our Shavanamuni, jumped into a special lake. I think in Kali Yuga, if they had that kind of lake here, everybody would be jumping into it. Uh, Anti-aging. So when they emerged from the lake, they all look same. They all looked same. They all very young and effulgent. So Sukanya could not identify her husband, but when she prayed to Ashwini Kumaras, and they revealed her husband and appreciated her chastity. And later, our Chavanamuni, with the help of Sharyati, his father-in-law, performed Soma Yajna, and then handed over a full pot of Somarasa to Ashwini Kumaras. However, Indra interfered, but Shavanamuni paralyzed Indra's hand and handed over the pot, Somarasa pot, to these Ashwini Kumaras. Since then, they, they are now allowed to take part in drinking Somarasa. Somehow or other, they were forbidden before. And then we talked about the three sons. Sons of Sharyati. He had three sons, Uttanabarhi, Anartha, and Bhurisena. And we talked about Anartha. Anartha's son was Revata. And so Revata's son was Kukudmi. And, Kukudmi had a beautiful daughter named Revati. So Kukudmi took his daughter to Brahmaloka to ask about suitable husband for Revati. But because so many earthly years have been passed, Brahma suggested that Kukudmi should hand over his daughter Revati to Baladev, Balram. And so she was so tall, and Balram reduced her size, and then he got married. After that, Kukudmi went to Badrikashram to perform austerities. So, with that, we will conclude today's two chapters, chapter 2 and chapter 3. And so, next week, hopefully, we'll continue the story of Ambarish Maharaj. Very interesting and very purifying. Of course, everything is purifying, but Ambarish Maharaj story, most of you heard about. We will discuss that Ambarish Maharaj story. Okay, Purna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandot Pranam.
Prabhuji, two questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, or maybe three. um, so, for what do we call a Divya Yuga? Is it like all the
Divya Yuga.
four yugas?
Divya Yuga is a four yugas, consists of Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali Yuga. That is one Divya Yuga, we call it.
Okay.
A set of four yugas.
Set of four yugas. I thought so. Yeah. And Prabhuji, what would be the content of Somaras? Is it like life-giving or is it intoxicating? Because somewhere I've read it is more like, rejuvenating or...
Yes, it is like rejuvenating, definitely. So I don't know the exact contents. So demigods, like it will actually see when someone drinks alcohol here, they lose their discrimination power. But this somarasa, when they drink it, they regain the discriminating power. They become more active. Huh?
Hmm.
Yeah, like that. So yeah, definitely. So maybe I'll find out more about the contents, but yeah, this is what it's mentioned. Um,
Okay, because in one of the books, where it was probably an autobiography of a monk or something, where he was given somarasa as a rejuvenating drink, you know. So, but
yes,
obviously,
yes, it will be rejuvenating, definitely. But as you know that, so the demigods also how to they will change every divya yuga, every manvantara, the king of Indra changes.
hmm,
So they will only have certain lifespan.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so even after taking that, also they will have to undergo so many issues, anxiety. You know that Indra will be always, he's anxious.
Yeah, yeah.
So better for us, like even these demigods. In the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned even they have wonderful facilities their sense enjoyment is much greater than our sense enjoyment, yet they pray to the supreme lord that you know that please allow us to take birth in the Bharatavarsha when our piety exhausts, when there is little piety, when we fall from this heavenly planet. Please allow us to take birth in Bharatavarsha. From there, it is easy to go back to the spiritual world. So, and we are here. We are already here. And we are in the wonderful moment of Srila Prabhupada. So, better take this Somarasa in the form of Hare Krishna mantra, Somarasa in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And yeah. So this is how we should do.
What? Sorry, Prabhuji. I said two questions. I have one more.
Yeah. But hope that answers. Yes,
Yes,
Somarasa is
Prabhuji.
good, but I'm trying to say that this is better Somarasa, hearing Bhagavatam and chanting Hare Krishna mantra.
Definitely, definitely. Nam Smaran is the best rasa, I would say.
Yeah, both Namasaran,
Namaskaram.
Bhagavatam, hearing also very important. Hearing will enlighten us, enthuse us, to chant more. Okay,
True.
what's your third question?
So, Prabhuji, any mention of where this Chavana Rishi ashram is? Because, I come from Somnath, which is also called as Prabhasa Kshetra.
Ah,
So, near Somnath, there
mm,
is one Chavan Rishi ashram and there is one Chavana Kunda as well.
okay.
So, sometimes, I mean, I think I vaguely remember or faintly remember that if there are some skin disease or something, if
Mm.
you go and take a dip in the Chavan Kund,
Acha.
it will heal you of. I mean, I could be wrong as well, because it's
Mm.
a very faint memory now. I can check with my mom. So is it?
Mm.
But there is one Chavan Rishi ashram in Madhya Pradesh as well.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if they have mentioned the location here in the.
I don't think it's mentioned in the Bhagavatam here in this chapter, but yes, I can look into it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji, for asking those questions. Yes, Nisha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It was really nice class. Firstly, it was so good. And my question is, why Indra always interfere with everything? Why is it part of Krishna's sanction in this when he does, or is it the free will they get in spiritual world?
See, he was the king of a heavenly planet, and he, basically. So I don't know the reason why they were forbidden, Ashwini Kumaras, because they were physicians, I heard. But so say now, basically, they were forbidden to drink Somarasa, but Shavana Muni is overriding that. So I am the king of heaven. So he's overriding this. So I must interfere. That is the
Okay.
mentality. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just one more question. The Shavana Muni wanted to be young. Why
Mm.
he wanted to be young? Already
Because
the
to
daughter was.
satisfy the young wife,
Yeah, but
because he was old
she was
now.
already satisfied, na? She was very
Huh?
beautiful and everything to him.
Sorry.
She was very dutiful to him
Yeah,
and
she was
everything.
very beautiful,
No,
but
dutiful, I mean, dutiful. Like she was,
yes, she was beautiful and dutiful,
yeah.
both. Uh, but to satisfy her, so he wanted to regain the youth.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was invalid and very old, and she was young. So, and he wanted to become youthful and be attracted to the young girl.
So there is no lust mentality in here, no?
Um, she was serving. She was is she was the wife of Shavana Muni. What we are talking now.
Hmm.
So yeah, he's not going outside the marriage, isn't it?
Okay, okay, okay. All right, okay,
So
get it. Thank
when
you.
she got married, and she has some expectations as well,
Okay, yeah, got it.
right?
Yeah, yeah, understand, Prabhuji. Yeah.
And so
Thank you very much.
yes, thank you, Arya Mataji.
I just had a comment.
Sure.
I was just thinking that, like, even Vasishta, the great sage, even he made the mistake of cursing his disciple. I was just thinking, like, the saintly people that we have around us in this movement, the sannyasis and things, they're so humble and have. So they would. I feel like I can't imagine them ever cursing someone, even if they're at fault. They're so compassionate. So it makes you realize their position. Really, yeah. I was just thinking that.
Yeah, thank you for your comments. Yeah, so he was yes, Prabhupada writes that yeah, he cursed the sage, but cursed Prashuddha, Prushadra, but it should not have cursed. Um, yeah, from that, I understand. Yes, different people, even though they are, see, as long as you're in the human body, you are prone to make human body, material body, you are prone to make mistakes. Whoever you may be, irrespective of your ashram, uh, four varnas and four ashramas in eight uh, orders, you are prone to make a mistake. That's because you are in the material body. So, but the thing is that when we commit a mistake, we should repent and not repeat. And we should, where appropriate, we should apologize accordingly. And sometimes I had seen that in another case, maybe in the ninth chapter, we see that he cursed, Vashishta cursed one person, and And then when he came to know that he was not at all fault, that person, then he underwent austerities for 12 years, Vashishta, like that. So these things happen.
I see. Thank you.
Okay, so Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Thank
you,
you very much.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much,
Thanks very
Prabhuji.
much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry if any questions are,
Thank
you know,
you.
Why,
that were,
why you always say sorry?
I don't
Question
know.
should be.
I feel I'm
You
like
should.
Vashishta
No.
Dev. You know,
No.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel, I feel like whether is the right channel to say this or
No.
not.
You can ask. No problem.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
Not
so much, Nisha
challenging.
Mataji, for raising a question. Actually, you
Thank
help
you.
us. Thank you so much in that way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
See,
you.
somebody is thanking you. Madhumata is thanking.
Thank you, Madhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Please keep asking the questions. Hare Krishna. It makes everyone alert as well, alive as well. So
You are
Thank you,
our
Prabhuji.
Arjuna,
Thank you.
Mataji. You are our Arjuna. Are you asking a question on behalf of us?
So thank you,
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much.